Welcome in, everybody, to the Craft Beer Republic. Thanks for drinking. Thanks for joining. I am not as buff as Flex, but I am Greg, and joining me from the East Coast is still not as buff as Flex, but it's Flex, me, and Mel. What's happening?
What's going on, Greg? Looks like the two of us have some big shorts to fill tonight without Flex here with us.
The biggest little shorts you've ever seen.
Literally the smallest, largest shorts ever.
Right. So little fabric, but such big legs to cover. Flex, for I think the first time since he joined the show back in 2021, unavailable tonight due to dying. He is currently dying right now, and we wish him a speedy recovery. But don't worry, the two of us make up one buff person, so we'll do what we can.
We work out, but we definitely drink beer.
Yeah, I totally work out so hard. Like super hard, the hardest you've ever worked out before. Anyways, follow us on the socials at Craft Beer Republic and at Beergirl_Mel. And if you feel bad for Flex, go give him a follow as well. Flex me or beer underscores in between. Lots to get to tonight. Of course, we've got some booze news, some recaps. We have a voicemail from the homie Chew Your Beer. But I don't know about you, Mel. This is the episode I've been waiting for weeks since we joked about it on the show. This is our dinosaur episode. We are going to drink some garbage ass beers from the back of the fridge, or maybe not garbage, but they've definitely been sitting on ice and not in a friendly cellared kind of way.
Yeah, that's right. We are going to put some beer to the test and see if these hazies age as well as we do.
Yeah, I'm even literally cracking mine right meow. We'll see how.
And I do
right.
just have to.
It smells okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, mine actually poured up pretty nice. So I'm pretty excited. I think I went the safe route. And for the viewers at home who aren't here with us before we get to recording, I had another beer that I opened and the smell was so nauseating. I had to have Lou remove it from the house.
Bad.
It was. And I was thinking to myself, too, like, if I do drink this beer, how long can I make it before I have to run to the bathroom? Like, mid-show?
Right.
But I think that would have just been, I would have probably been hospitalized. So I'm glad that
your reaction
happen.
was priceless. It made me wish this was like a video podcast.
I know. I should have waited. I should have waited to crack it, but I'm also glad that I didn't.
Yeah, it was pretty great. All right. Well, in honor of our dinosaur beers, let's conduct a little science.
From a bottle, from a can, why don't people understand my inebriation? Beer science.
That faded out quickly. All right. I am drinking, and this is great. Not only is it a dinosaur, but now these two breweries are sort of on the naughty list. It's a collab between Stone Brewing, heard of those fucks, and Modern Times. I guess Modern Times is technically off the naughty list because they sold or whatever. Right. But yeah, Stone is, of course, big beer now. Anyways, collab with them. It's called Wizards and Gargoyles. It's a hazy coffee IPA. According to the back of the or bottom of the can, it was canned on August 4th of 2020.
Ooh.
Nothing says smart like saving a hazy for almost 4 years.
You know, it's like they just slip away from you. And then, you know, like we were saying, you might want to take a picture with it or somebody sent it to you in the mail. I mean, no, they didn't because that's illegal. But
yeah, we don't do that.
You really want to savor it. And then before you know it, it's gone way too long and it's no longer saving it. You're just actually lost your chance.
Yeah. We've talked about this before. I think Flex is probably the king of this, where you get a beer in the mail from someone and you're like, I need to put this on a pedestal because I need to take the world's best Instagram photo and I'm going to enjoy it and savor it and tell them how great it was. And here we are 4 years later.
Yes.
No one drank it. Opportunity missed. It would have been better just to drink it and not photograph it. So real quick, 7%, 51 IBUs. It ended up with a 3.7 on Untapped. The last check-in, wow, somebody checked it in a couple weeks ago, actually. I don't know why. I don't know where they got it from. There's a super long description from Stone, as per usual. Not going to fucking read it all. I will tell you the hops in here are Citra, Cashmere, Centennial, HBC 682, and HBC 692. I remember really enjoying this beer. It was a weird combo of like hazy and coffee. Two things I enjoy separately. Didn't think I would enjoy together.
Yeah.
But it was surprisingly not bad. Now, smell is pretty muted. It's a little hoppy. It's a little more coffee than hoppy on the nose. On ye old tongue jubber. It's a little... Tastes like somebody left coffee out for a few weeks.
Ooh.
And then added it to like a stale beer. Like it's still surprisingly carbonated. Like carbonation never dropped. But the hop profile obviously fell the fuck out. And the coffee just tastes stale. As you can see, it's still hazy. So it
It's
didn't
a pretty
like
color.
drop itself down or anything like that. I mean, not the worst beer I've ever put in my mouth. Would I purposely finish the rest of this? I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I brought me a backup beer. I brought me a Enegren, a lager, because sounds delicious and it's hot out. So
There you have it, folks.
yeah, I'm gonna drink a Pils from Enegren.
Oh,
What are you
yes.
pulling out of the fucking grave over there?
All right, so I have been holding on to this beer for probably about a year and a half. It is a Babe Brew. It's a hazy IPA. I'm gonna butcher the name. Saint-Houblon. It's one
Nailed
of the
it.
French. Is it? Okay, cool. It's one of the French breweries that did the charity beer for the Beer Babes family, and everything is in French on the can, so I cannot read you a description. However, it is 7.4%. And like yours, Greg, mine did have a really nice amount of carbonation still. If you look at the color, though, you can see like it's kind of oxidized.
Yeah, a little lackluster.
Really nothing on the nose whatsoever. Let's give it a taste. Very bitter.
That face says it all.
The hops have completely fallen off on this one. You do get a little bit of the hop burn on the back end, but I'm getting like a lot of malts.
Oh yeah,
And then it's kind of like that repeating sort of, you got to brush your teeth after this one. Less of a hazy, more of a West Coast taste. Not the worst thing either. I'm not going to say that it's really lost it's not lackluster. I wouldn't say that. But yeah,
right.
I'm with you. I think this is more, I think what we learned from this quick science experiment of 2 sips is that hazies have to be drank a little bit sooner so you don't lose the hop flavor and profile that you want to have in that kind of a beer. So
every brewer ever listening right now is like, no shit, we have been screaming this for years. Please drink your beers fresh. What are you doing hanging on to them for years? We did not need science to figure this out.
exactly.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, brewers, but we're stubborn. What can we say?
Yeah. I feel like we also amped this up a little bit. Like, that's it. The dinosaur portion's over.
I know.
Flex, where are you? Where's your beer? Send it.
I will say, when I had this episode of mine, there was a beer that I thought was still in my fridge that I even consulted with the wife tonight and was like, hey, remember this beer? And that is, I think it was called Pancakes. Either Pancakes or Pancakes. Something to do with pancakes.
Oh, is it, was it by Hubbard's Cave?
No,
Was that the beer?
it was
Oh.
from Renegade Brewing. And
Okay.
we did an interview with Renegade Brewing back in, I think it was 2018. And we had a few beers on the episode as we were doing the interview. And then afterwards, all we did was open cans. And he goes, hey, here's all the rest of the 4 and 6 packs we broke into if you'd like to take them. And I was like, oh, and we were in Colorado at the time. Renegades out of Denver. I was like, oh, beer for the rest of our trip and some to smuggle home? Abso-fucking-lutely.
Right.
So anyways, we took it home with us. And that's what I just looked it up. It's from September of 2018. That's when we did the interview. So I swear we still had it. The wife says she thinks we threw it out. If we did, I would have at least tried it just for science reasons. So
I don't think
anyway.
I ever just truly throw a beer out without at least cracking it,
yeah,
smelling
give it a
it.
shot.
Yeah, not that last one. And by the way, just so
You
you
did
guys
smell
all know, it had like caramel and vanilla ice cream and some other lactose stuff. So it really was not safe. And it was like
Yeah.
almost 2 years old. So
Yeah, and a special shout out to Renegade with that pancakes one because they just announced that they're closing, and I'm very sad to see that happen. They're a great
Oh,
brewery in Denver.
bummer.
Sounded like it was some landlord issues, and possibly they'll pop back up. I really hope so. Great beer, great guy Brian over there. I think that you got a couple weeks left, so go get some Renegade while they're still open. And hey, fuckers, drink your beer fresh.
yes.
That's what we've learned tonight. And
Yeah,
I'm gonna-
absolutely. Unless it's meant to be aged and then
Yeah.
have it at the appropriate temperature.
Right. And I feel like best case scenario, I drank a beer that was from Stone, which, a large brewery, they're canning things right. Like this could have been a bajillion times worse.
Yeah. The preservative methods are there.
But as you can hear, I'm going with my backup. Hello, Pilsner.
And my backup didn't make it to me. I might have to drink this, or I might have to run it to my refrigerator.
Backup boy, where are you?
Oh, he heard me and he woke up.
He's coming over with the backup beer in one hand and street meats in the other.
He actually is. There's one thing that Lou is. It is reliable.
Yeah, not all
you
angels
can count
have
on
wings.
him for making sure things get done the way they need to, right in the nick of time.
Just in time. So, all right, let us know, guys. Do you have any Dino beers you're waiting to try? I'd love to hear about it. Do a little review. Send us a voicemail or something. 805-538-BEER, or you know where to find us on the socials. All right. Mother's Day just happened. You guys do anything good? I know you got chillins and all that stuff.
We have the children. It went pretty well. We went to my sister's house. My parents were there. My sisters were there. All the kids were running around. We had a good old time in a very short amount of time. I think.
Was there a pasta course?
No, this isn't that side of the family.
Oh, okay.
We just did like brunch. So it was like bagels, like good bagels. Like we're from the bagel capital of New York, if anybody ever comes to visit. But we just had like a brunch spread and maybe like 3 or 4 magnums of Prosecco.
Nice.
So a good time was had by all. And actually my pasta course came in the evening. And I just finished it when I got home from dinner tonight.
Oh,
fantastic. Zuppa de mar.
I think one of my favorite leftover things is not just pasta, but lasagna. Leftover lasagna, like it sits there and the flavors meld.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. Almost better leftover than fresh.
100%.
So
like
good.
day 1 or day 2, even after, it's like so good. All of those flavors really settle in and sauce gets all soaked up into the noodles. Oof.
Oh, now I'm getting hungry.
Just thinking about it.
The last time I made lasagna, I had to make it for like 20 people, and I even made it a day and a half out. And I was like, you know what? This is going to save me so much time day of. Plus, I think it's going to make it better. And it did. I made it a couple day and a half out, and then as we needed it, I just heated it up in the oven nice and slow.
Absolutely. That's the best way to do it. I've told Flex, though, and I don't know if I've told you, but the only time I make lasagna is for funerals. It's a funeral food.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So we don't, not everybody's like that, but for me, the only time we do lasagna is when somebody's dead.
Oh,
otherwise, it's baked ziti. We'll do like a baked ziti or something like that.
So anytime I see a picture of lasagna on the gram, I'll wish my condolences to you.
Someone died.
Yeah.
Chendan.
What did we have? Oh, I made it for Thanksgiving. That's what I made it for.
People do that. Yeah. Thanksgiving, Christmas.
Yeah. I'm not even Italian. I'm just tired of turkey. And so I've been for the last few years trying to do different shit on Thanksgiving. For a couple of years, I sous vide some tri-tips, and this year, or most recently, I did some lasagna, and I'm not mad about it. I'm tired of people's dry ass turkey. So.
I love turkey. I'm the opposite. Like, give me those legs. I'm gonna fight over it with someone.
Oh, I love a good smoked turkey. I don't have a smoker. I don't have room for it, but I'm down with like a good smoked turkey, or if someone actually knows what they're doing. But overall, it's too dry. But anyways, Mother's Day. We convinced my mom to. I don't have kids, which is I can do whatever the fuck I want. Basically, I can sleep in But instead, convinced my mom to go up to my sister's house. She lives now where we go wakeboarding every year. We had our first wakeboarding trip of the year. We're like, hey, let's make it a Mother's Day trip. AKA, it's the first warm weekend, and we really wanted to go wakeboarding. So if we rope you into it, we won't feel as guilty about it while we wakeboard. So,
hey, Greg, did your sister just get married? Is that right?
Did you hear about that?
I don't know. Have I been hearing about it for like 4 years?
I will say.
Did it finally happen?
Her now husband posted something on the gram over the weekend about like got to get married and blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. Flex commented, "Y'all got married?"
Amazing.
I was like, "Oh, my hero! He is so great."
Greg's sister, if you're out there listening, no shade at all. I just listened to I'm a podcast listener, so I've been following along throughout the years.
Yeah, first time, long time. So it was good. We did a bunch of wine tasting after wakeboarding, got nice and buzzy and.
There's nothing better than that, really.
Yeah. And we went home, made dinner for the mom. So it seemed like we were doing something for her, and woke up on Mother's Day and did more wakeboarding. And like, hey, this is for you, Mom. You get to watch your adult children go wakeboarding. And so there you go. Good times.
She probably loves being on the boat.
No,
the moms?
not at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no. The moms are like, they're like, where's the cooler at? Where's the music? And then they just like sit back and chill. They're like, this water is great. Very soothing for the soul. They love it.
She's not an outdoorsy person. You know, she
Oh.
put up with it when we were kids because like we were kids. And
Yeah, you have to.
you have to. Plus, they weren't going to pay to take us somewhere real. So that was our vacation every year.
I love it.
Now, oh, me too. Now it's like she hasn't been up there in like 5 years. And we're like, hey, you want to do a Mother's Day trip? And a little package of visits for you. And she bought it. So good for us.
Woohoo.
And we took her out wine tasting. She loves wine. So that works out. One of our memberships, Austin Hope Family Wines, we're going there. The lady was pouring our wines and my mom doesn't drink red. And she's like, all right. And for you? And she goes, I really don't drink red. Can you do anything else for me? She's like, oh, I got you. She was so nice. She went like digging into the back of the fridge, fucking dinosaur wines or whatever. She pulled out some whites no one had seen in like 3 years. And
Wow.
yeah, it was good times. So
Now what makes it different when it's wine that it ages better?
I don't know. Science.
Either. We're going to
Grape
have to
juice
look into
ages
it.
better. I'm sure the alcohol percentage has something to do with it.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
That
you
in
know-
and of itself like preserves everything.
Yeah,
Bacteria.
barrel aged stouts last forever, but
Right.
lagers don't, so I guess that sort of makes sense. But anyways, good times. I have to say this is my first beer in like over a week. It's fucking hitting the
Same.
lips. Oh
Nope.
my God.
I lied actually. On Saturday, part of our Mother's Day excursion was with my family of runners was I ran a half marathon with the fam. And then,
no big deal. Half marathon.
No big deal. Hadn't run since January when we did all the Disney stuff. But they're like, you want to go run a half marathon on fresh legs? I'm like, yeah. So,
Yeah, I'll fuck around and get a triple double. It's no big deal.
but then afterwards, I did get to hit up a bunch of local breweries. Lou schlepped me around. I went to Tin Barn. I went to Drownlands. We stopped at Aspire after that. So I did get my fix of beer this weekend, but it has been a long time for me as well.
Yeah.
Getting
if anybody-
older.
Oh man, if anybody's listening to or had listened to the last episode, they heard Flex and I talk about how we're trying to shed a few lbs.
Oh,
And,
gosh, it's hard.
Especially when you're drinking beer. I've noticed, the wine is a little bit easier, the red wine, because, less calories, way less carbs than beer, way less filling. So did a lot of red wine. Even better is the seltzer. And I talked about it last show.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna attempt the seltzer diet. I just haven't been back to Costco since we recorded. I need to get like a fresh, Costco sized box of seltzers to try this out with.
For
So
sure.
last me at least 3 days.
Well,
So,
I'm like, the problem with seltzers is that they just go down so smooth. You end up drinking like 8 or 10 and like you still feel pretty good. You're not too wasted because they're low
Right.
ABV, but 12 pack does not last in this house.
That's why we gotta
So you
go
got
to
to go to
Costco.
Costco. Yeah.
We need the fucking army sized seltzers. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it just doesn't get the job done.
Aspire actually started brewing seltzers. Well, they have been since their inception, but they have some pretty good ones and they have real fruit juice in them. So they're
Oh,
not as low calorie. They're about 150 calories per
okay.
can, but they taste amazing. Like it
That's
doesn't
important.
it almost tastes like more of like a sour than a
Oh.
seltzer.
See, that would make it so much easier to
Yeah.
swap out for the beer. So,
Exactly. But not like a fruited sour, not heavily fruited. Like it's light, it's
right,
clear.
like more like a Berliner type of.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's my jam right there.
Oh, they're
I've-
great.
I've been doing some light research into making my own. The hard part is that flavor part because, like, if you put
I'm
in
sure.
real fruit puree, that was hard for me to say. You get the calories, you get the carbs, and that kind of stuff. I'm trying to figure out how to flavor it up without adding all kinds of shit to it. So,
A lot of them use dextrose now. Not like dextrose or
as flavoring,
like
that just-
that's how they get the alcohol to be there.
yeah, I
Like
mean,
that's
it's just
the
sugar
ingredient?
water. Yeah, sugar water and champagne yeast. The champagne yeast eats up all the sugar, leaves you with like almost no sugar and a little bit of alcohol, and then you got to flavor it somehow. But I got to do some more research. I realized Nick, formerly of 14 Cannons, he works for a flavor company, so I need to hit him up and be
Yeah.
like, hey, what can I add to my seltzers to make it not taste like a dirty butt? So
Well, I am your seltzer girl. That is how this all started.
yeah, that's true.
Bud Light Seltzers Anonymous. So I'll gladly try your homebrew seltzer.
Yeah, this all started because you made Flex drink some shitty Bud Light seltzers after he lost. Was it losing fantasy football?
Yes.
That
I don't
was
know if
my
he
favorite
lost it.
thing
I
ever.
think I threatened him, or I think that's what I made him chug. He lost against me in like 1 week, and we were doing these chugs, whoever lost. And I was like, you have to chug one of these seltzers, and I'm going to send them to you. And I spent that shipping on a cruddy seltzer to just make sure that he held up his end of the bargain.
I love that you had to pay to, like, you probably spent sending him 4 seltzers probably cost the same as like the 12 pack of the seltzers, if not more, just so he would have to live up to a bet.
I mean, don't get it twisted. I sent him a lot of really good beer in there too. You'd be surprised at how many cans you can actually fit into one of those boxes. But really, I lost my dignity when I drank them with him because they tasted like shit. So there's
like, yeah. If you guys, I should have looked up what episode that was because that was fucking hilarious when he described it, how horrible those were.
Those were really, really not good. And I'm surprised that some people liked them. It tasted like drinking a Yankee Candle. It really did. The flavor was, I think they got the flavor from Yankee Candle.
It's so good. I think it's batch 327. I did a quick search.
The fact that you could search that so quickly, did you type in my name to find it?
I typed in Bud Light Seltzer.
Oh,
and
so
I'm on the
one episode.
If you go to our website, click on archive. We got all the old shows that you can search for things.
Good to know.
Type in Bud Light Seltzer, popped right up. So episode 327. If you guys want to hear Flex's description of having to chug these fucking Yankee Candle bullshits.
Oh my
technical
gosh.
term. Yeah. So, anywho, all right. Before we get to news, like I said, the homie Chew Your Beer called in. Haven't heard from him in a while. Let's see what's going on.
Hello. No one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Yo, what's up, Crappy Republic? Chew Your Beer. It's been a long time since I've called in. So here you go. Quick little recap. A couple weeks ago, I got really sick. I was shitting out of my face and pissing out of my ass for about 5 days. After I got better, haven't had a beer for like 13 days. So we decided to go to Creature Comfort in downtown LA. Pulled out, homie. Couldn't find a spot to park, and if I did, I wasn't gonna walk my wife down a block of fucking zombies, homie. It's like an apocalypse out there. Crackheads, homeless people everywhere. Didn't feel safe taking her through all that, so we headed over to Glendale Tap. Luckily, they had a Highland Park and Everywhere beer takeover. Phenomenal. Had everything delicious. Everything was great. After that, I hit my 3,000 unique on Untap. Yay to me. Congratulations to myself. So yeah, that's it. All right, homies, this is Chew Your Beer. Yeah, nos guacho. Peace out, eh?
There's a couple breweries like that around here. Like McLeod is one of them where if you roll up, man, you better carry some pepper spray or a side gun or something.
Isn't that downtown LA? Isn't that like the total of downtown LA? Aren't they all there?
Bit.
Right.
Downtown LA's pretty rough.
I've heard that. So Flex, are you shitting out of your mouth? Did you meet up with Chew Your Beer or what? We need to know about this mystery illness that you have.
Yeah, maybe they were making out or something.
I'm sure that he would meet up with Chew Your Beer before he would meet up with us in real life.
I know. He's a dick like that, isn't he?
A little bit. But he's my favorite dick. So,
right.
You got to just be cool with it.
He's a real thick, throbbing dick. Sorry, Flex.
Oh my gosh.
I've not been to Creature Comforts, Chew. I probably won't now, thanks to you. I don't even think I've had any of their beer, to be honest.
You know, that's so far out of the realm of what I understand being an East Coaster and all, but I will say that we were in New York 2 weekends ago, and the vibe is just not the same as what it used to be, for sure. Like the streets are definitely not the same. It's like giving 80s, which was very dangerous in New York. You guys don't know that.
Is this trip 2 weeks ago the trip where you guys had brunch and then Street Meats decided to fucking hit up the farmer's market and keep eating?
Did you see? The food was outrageous at that. Lou was like, I wish we would have just seen this and gone to this instead, because the food was outrageous. Like if you could just picture every culture of New York all on one street, that's what was delicious. There. And it was good too. The food was awesome. But you know, like Lou, for example, right now, he's in the kitchen over here eating. So it's just a nonstop. He's just, it goes in, it comes out, and he just repeats. I don't know how he's got him. Literally never stops.
As soon as he's done chewing, it just goes right on out.
And now our big joke too is that we have to send it to you every time. I'm like, oh, we've got to show Greg that you're eating again.
And I crack up every fucking time.
It's hilarious.
It is great. For those who haven't listened in the past, Mel's husband, Lou, we call him Street Meats because anytime there's meat on the streets, he will fucking buy it. Whether it's a gyro, as he calls them, burritos, Calzones, man, he fucking blows a load for calzones.
Oh, yeah. We got some soup dumplings the other day. He had some elote in his hand at the same time.
Love the crossing of cultures there.
Some kebabs were happening. Like it was a lot. And then they had like desserts of some sort. I don't know if they did churros or what, but I was like, I actually need to go to the bathroom just watching you guys eat it. Wild.
It's so I wish I had his metabolism. That guy is a fucking beast.
Crazy. He's wild. Yeah.
He is. All right, 805-53 beer 2337 is our number. All right, let's get into a little bit of news flight over here. Get the paddles. Wisconsin Brewing launches a Harley-Davidson branded non-alcoholic beer, which I was going to, give Flex a hard time with.
It's Wisconsin. Yeah.
Have you ever had a good, legitimately good NA beer?
I don't know that I would be willing to waste my calories on an NA beer. That might sound terrible. That really might sound terrible,
too.
but I'm like, for that, I'll just drink water.
I'm right there with you.
I
Give
don't
me
need
a bubbly water or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'll just have a seltzer or Pellegrino or something like that, or regular water than an NA beer. So no, I can't say that I have.
Same. I mean, the calories, the carbs, they're all the same as regular beer.
Exactly. Like what
Without
makes
the
no
fun.
sense. If I'm going to have those calories, I need to get like a little funny feeling.
Something.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. If you could get me an NA beer that had like the calorie and carb stats of a Michelob Ultra, but tasted like a good beer, I'd be okay with that.
But that could be like your in-betweener.
Cals.
So you didn't get as
like,
hammered.
Right. Spread it out a little bit. Because for now, my in-betweeners are just seltzers. It's still,
like quick
still
chug water.
5%. Yeah, exactly. So, I haven't either. I've tried a couple and I'm just like, I don't need all these calories and no buzz. It sounds like horseshit.
Same.
Yeah. Speaking of NA beers, Firestone Walker's getting into the game. They're releasing 805. Their big famous beer is 805. That's our area code out here.
Yep.
Now it's 805 is their NA beer of choice. It's modeled after 805. It's a blonde ale, but once again, no alcohol and all the carbs and calories. No thanks.
I will speak to, it's great for the designated drivers that want to act like they're still having a great time. So
sure.
Cheers to everybody being a little more responsible. I am just not the person for it.
Yeah. And I'll say half of my drinking, like if I'm in a social situation, is just wanting something in my hand. And so if I needed to be a double D or slow it down because I was going to drive later or something, not the worst thing to put that in my hand instead of getting DUI or killing someone.
Yeah.
But still. And then finally, Massachusetts governor passes permanent cocktails to go. Congratulations, Massachusetts. Governor Maura Healey included the allowance in a supplemental budget bill signed last Tuesday. Temporary measures allowing cocktails to go had expired on April 1st. 27 states and Washington, D.C. have now passed cocktails to go laws permanently. So not all horrible things came out of COVID.
I don't think that cocktails to go are legal anymore in New York, but I still always do try to get one to go. Some places will let you, others will not. But like, maybe it's like a thing.
Yeah, maybe it's like a per county thing.
I don't know. I'd have to look into it. Probably not. New York State is pretty tough.
Oh, okay. California is still on a temporary basis. Hopefully they make it a permanent thing. Because, why the fuck not?
It's better for businesses and,
silly.
Anything else.
Exactly. All right. A little bit of news, some booze news. The founder of Lead Dog Brewing has bought back his brewery. Lead Dog Brewing founder and original brewmaster Ryan Gaumer has bought back his Reno, Nevada-based brewery 3 years after selling the company to California-based Mammoth Brewing Co. Joining him in the buyback were Revision Brewing CEO Jeremy Warren and brewmaster Jib Taylor, adding Lead Dog to the Nevada Beverage Alliance, a strategic alliance formed by Revision and Great Basin Brewing last summer. Basically, he's going to close down his operations from brewing. He's going to contract brew, but keep one of his tap rooms open. And good for him.
Does he make more money by contract brewing like consultants do?
He might, it's hard to say. Obviously, you have to pay more than, say, if you were doing it yourself. But being a bigger brewery, they get cheaper ingredients and you don't have to waste your time brewing. You can spend your time managing or whatever. So, there's a couple breweries in San Diego that have done that, like Second Chance Brewing.
Yeah.
They had a couple locations and now they have no locations and they're completely contract brewing. It seems to be working out for them, at least somewhat. Ever since they started contracting, they've popped up in Total Wines and Bevmos. So maybe they were able to, dedicate time to sales instead of
because
production.
they don't have the overhead of keeping like the building up and running. That makes sense. I was thinking of more of like they were like consulting for these other brands. Now I get it. It makes more sense to me now. I think Grimm was like that too. Do you know Grimm?
Grimm Artisan Ales?
Yeah. I think they were like that when they initially started because they were kind of like gypsy brewers and they'd hop around.
Oh, yeah. There's a few breweries that'll do that. Like, they'll go from spot to spot making stuff and doing like all collabs and stuff. Like, isn't that what, is it Beer Zombies or whatever? Isn't that what they do?
No, aren't they in Las Vegas? Beer Zombies?
They used to not have a location.
Maybe.
Yeah, now they have a Vegas tap room. I think they used to like hop around between Vegas and LA making beer.
Ah, that makes sense. I'm like, I didn't really know them up until maybe, after COVID. I didn't speak to it.
Somebody will tell me how wrong I am. I'm sure of it. James Watt steps down as Brewdog's CEO and assumes if this doesn't make you sound like a douche, I don't know what does, assumes a captain role.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. This guy's such a dick bag.
When you said that there was the breweries were bad, I thought it was going to be Brewdog and McKellar together. I was like, what a collaboration we've got there, or founders or something.
Yeah, the three of them. What a
can you
throuple
imagine?
that would make. Yeah. No. But yeah, this time, fucking Brewdog. I mean, those guys are complete assholes. But James Watt has stepped down. There's details around it. Basically, he's keeping his 20% shares in Brewdog, and he has like an advisory role on the board now. But he's the captain because
you can't go
do.
Quietly into that night. You must rage.
Yeah, it's so weird. No Life Brewing files a lawsuit against Tilray over their use of Big Juicy. Tilray is the brand that bought all those craft brands from Bud Light, or from, AB InBev. Washington-based No Light Brewhouse has filed a lawsuit against Tilray Brands, alleging that the beer and cannabis platform has infringed on its trademark for Big Juicy, according to Law 360. At issue is Tilray's use of Big Juicy in the name for Red Hook's Big Juicy Ballard IPA, which No Lie alleges has infringed on its mark for Big Juicy. Take a shot every time I say Big Juicy. According to the lawsuit filed last Friday in the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Washington, No Lie filed an application for the Big Juicy trademark with the U.S. Trademark Office in December of 2015, and a notice of allowance was granted to No Lie in January of 2017. The trademark registration is for the words only, meaning that others cannot change the font or add decorative design elements to claim distinction from the registration. Per the lawsuit, defendants' use of an identical and such confusingly similar mark to the No Lie Big Juicy mark in connection with the sale, offering for sale, distribution, advertising of product services is likely to cause and has caused confusion, mistake, and deception as to the origin of defendants' products. It's kind of like Stone versus Miller with the whole Keystone thing.
Right.
Here's the thing. They should have never given this trademark, in my opinion. I guess in 2015, no one knew how big hazies would be, but how can you trademark Big Juicy?
I think that's what companies do, though. They go out and look for different potentially important phrases, and they just start buying them up. Like Lou, back in the day when websites used to be a big thing, he just started buying website names.
Smart.
Like any business you could think of, he would just be like, it's like $1.99 at whatever company. I don't even remember what the website.
GoDaddy.
Yeah, GoDaddy. And he would buy up all of these names, and he'd be like, should I give it to them? But they have a lot of those problems with all of the new businesses up and coming. It's hard to get those trademarks and copyrights and the actual, Instagram handle without like a 2 or a dash or whatever. So I get it from a business standpoint. But yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, but at what point, like, we're going to run out of beer names pretty soon if everybody just keeps trademarking their names for beers?
I feel like who cares? Who cares about one single beer name? It's not even a competitive role, really. They just have a lot of money.
Yeah.
So they
much.
can.
And just so everybody knows, I looked it up. Streetmeats.com is taken.
Not a. I just want to know what the content of that website is, though, actually. Is it food or is it something else that we should not be talking about on this podcast?
Let's go. I just looked on GoDaddy. Streetmeats.com. Oh, they've just parked it. You can buy it now for $2,800.
Oh, well, let's get on it.
Yeah, they want Lou to buy it. It's clear.
It's like debsticks.com.
I can't believe that was available. It's not anymore. But for only $12 for the first year, you can have streetmeats.co.
Ooh.
Drop the M. Yeah. We should start one just for
Lou's
Lou.
OnlyFans. See how much meat he can tolerate in one sitting before he starts sweating.
How much meat can he jam in his mouth? Hey. Michelob Ultra is the top seller in grocery stores right now. Modelo Especial, #1 in convenience stores.
That's a little surprising to me.
Modelo?
In a convenience, like a gas station?
Yeah. So,
People
they've been climbing ever since the whole Bud Light debacle.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So funny.
Yeah. But, Michelob Ultra, which I'm like, hey, you guys know there's way better beer that actually tastes like beer, right?
It's actually the worst. That's probably one of the worst beers known to man.
It's
and
so
my
bad.
sister drinks it. That's what she drinks. So if we go on the boat with her, like if you run out of beer, she will let you drink the Mick Ultra because she will bring an entire case every day.
She will let you?
Yeah.
Oh,
you can
what a sweetheart.
You can have a Mick Ultra, but don't expect anything else besides that.
Oof.
It's literally all she drinks.
Oh, it's so gross. Before pre-COVID, 2019, we went to a wedding out on the East Coast. I'll do my best to leave names out of it because boy was I disappointed. The bride is a friend of my wife's from college. Nobody had met the groom yet, and we found out he did some distributing for craft breweries, and he was gonna help me get an interview, which never happened. When we were out there, I got my own. It worked out all right, but he was also, hey, we're gonna have so much beer at the wedding. It's
right.
Like, fuck yeah. He's got the hookups. It's going to be fantastic. We get to the wedding. They had 2 little kegs, little sixtels from a local craft brewery, which, by the way, were fantastic. I'm trying to remember the name of the brewery. It was so, so good. And we did some damage to those. And all he had after that were Mick Ultras. Like, that was his jam. He loves them. And it's like, come on, man.
All right.
Make some real beer.
If you had to choose out of all of the big box brands, right? The ones that we all make fun of, which one would it be for you?
Like all the macro, like
if
American
it was going to be
lagers.
like a Budweiser or a Bud Light or a Mick Ultra or a Corona or a Heineken or Modelo, yes, okay, but which one would you choose? Coors Light, like
probably a Banquet.
A Coors Banquet, right?
Yeah, probably so.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm with you. Either
beer.
Coors Banquet or a Miller High Life.
Yeah, I could get
down with a Miller High Life. I don't mind them.
Yeah, no, I can't do Bud Lights anymore. That used to be my like go-to Vegas beer. And the last time I did that, like we were going to see a show and all they had was Budweiser products.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'll get a Bud Light. Give me the fucking biggest one you got, which was like 40 ounces or something. Halfway through the show, my beer was warm and I started tasting Bud Light and I was like, oh,
yeah,
I got to pound this ASAP.
Yeah, that's a chug.
So bad.
We
bad.
were huge Bud Light fans growing up in our 20s. First, it was Corona, and
I never did Corona.
I really liked Corona like a lot, and I don't understand why. I think we used to put Bacardi in it and do like a Corona Limon, like Bacardi Limon. So I think that's where it was okay. But then we realized that we were spending too much money on Corona, so we had to downsize to Bud Light. But man,
you had to cut the budget.
Once I found out what real beer was. It's hard to go back, but I did tell Lou, I was like, I'm like, maybe I should order like a pitcher of Bud Light one day. He's like, you would never drink it. I'm like, I will drink it. Now I feel like I have to. Maybe I'll bring a Bud Light the next time I come here. It's a theme every time I come. Like the next one will be like shitty macros. Because it only takes up about 5 minutes of our time or less on the show. We took like 3 sips and we're like, this is shit. Never mind.
Move on.
Yeah. It wasn't shit to begin with, but it's shit now that it's years later.
Right. If you did a pitcher of Bud Light and it was ice cold, I bet you could get like, a pint of your way through. And then as it started to warm up and you can actually taste it, it's like, ooh.
Yeah.
Hard pass. Hard fucking pass.
Yeah. And there's too much craft beer everywhere now that there's no reason. there's no reason
Yeah.
to drink it.
You know, I will say I've been threatening for years, and I don't know how we do this if we're remote, but I've been threatening this back since the day when we were all in person. And I think it'd be fun to get like the biggest 3 macros and blind taste them, like have the wife hand them to me in paper bags or something. And
Oh, I think that's
blind
pretty
taste 'em
easy. We would just have to
rate them.
have the significant others speak to each other and they would hand them out to us. Or
Yeah.
they would be like, do the reveal. I think I could tell. I think I could tell the difference between them.
Yeah, and I don't know. That's the thing. Like, I don't know, pick 3 lights and 3 not lights and go for it and see what happens. And
Yeah,
that could be fun. It could be sciencey.
I would do it. I'm
Keep
always
threatening it.
about a good theme.
All right, we should work on this next time around.
Okay.
Let's do a shit beer off.
I'm down.
Why do we only drink bad beers when Mel's on the show?
Because it's the only time you ask me on, Greg. I am the only one that is willing to do this kind of shit.
To be fair, after we talked about it last time about the Dino Beers, you hit me up. We're like, I will be on that show.
I
with
said
you.
I 100% will do that show with you. I actually have a wide selection. I have some Cascade sours, and I don't know why we still have these. They're from 2016.
Oof. I mean, we have some barrel aged stouts from 2015 and 16. but
Yeah.
That's okay.
I feel like a stout is
that you can
doesn't
see them
count.
a little bit
Yeah,
right
it doesn't
here.
count. It's got to be. We have to have like a criteria. Also, it has to be this type of beer. And now we know that smoothie sours are definitely
Oof.
out, as with
Probably
any milk
dangerous.
product. Yeah, not safe. You will be hospitalized. So we're gonna work on this, audience. We're gonna get better at this kind of thing for you.
Yeah. Let's see what we can do about this. Do some blind shit beer tasting.
Yeah, I'm totally down.
We're so gross. All right. We're going to end it on this story. A drunk middle school teaching assistant was arrested after a student drank her vodka thinking it was Mountain Dew.
Oh shit!
A Georgia middle school teaching assistant was arrested and fired after a student drank her bottle of vodka thinking it was Mountain Dew, with her blood alcohol level sitting at 3 times the legal limit, police said.
Oh,
Alexandra
no.
Lambert, 39, was fired from the Morgan County Middle School after a student took a sip out of a bottle that allegedly belonged to her, believing it was just soda. Instead, the student threw out the drink and alerted another teacher, who brought the matter to the principal's office on Thursday afternoon. Lambert allegedly admitted that the bottle was full of vodka, but claimed she brought it to school accidentally. Morgan County sheriffs were called in around 1:15 p.m., gave Lambert a breathalyzer test, which registered her blood alcohol level at 0.259.
So that's a big no. You were drinking that. You were not only drinking that bottle. That was your second bottle. That was a backup bottle of vodka. Holy,
your first.
what's the deal with the teachers? I know kids are really hard, and that's exactly why I'm not a teacher. Okay, maybe I answered my own question.
Yeah.
But y'all, come on with the drinking in the middle of the day during school. Knock it off.
Here's my biggest question from this story specifically. Why was a student drinking out of the teacher's bottle no matter what was in it?
Do you know kids? They do not care. I have seen both of my kids drink out of random, and I'm like, is that your drink? And they're like brain dead.
But they would do that to their teacher?
I would hope not. I would hope I taught them well, but I really can't be sure, to tell you the truth. I really don't know. My kid,
Like, I could never imagine drinking out of my teacher's anything. Or
I would
eating
be
their
grossed
food
out by
or-
that. Like, I don't know what kind of teachers they have over there, but my teachers were like old and smoked cigarettes and like, no.
Yeah, I didn't have any of these like young hot teachers that people talk about. I'm like, oh, no, nobody was under the age of 62 at my school.
I guess this student didn't know that the bottle was full of alcohol, but maybe another student knew and dared this student to try it because they knew it was that she was boozing.
Maybe. I have to assume like she probably dumped out half a Mountain Dew and filled it back up with vodka, right? Like,
yeah.
Why else would there be a mistake?
Right. That's not nobody stores alcohol in a water bottle unless you are sneaking booze in the middle of the day at school.
Yeah. One of my favorite trips to Disneyland, I went with this girl and she got a bunch of Coke bottles and was able to take off the lids without breaking the seal.
Yeah.
Dumped half out, filled it up with Captain. We had booze all day long.
Honestly, are they really checking anything when you go in to Disney and all that?
Disneyland in California. I mean, I haven't been since COVID is my caveat here, but they are so strict. They check everything. You can't bring in bottles that are not sealed.
Oh, okay. Because at Universal, I definitely had like a wine that Lou bought. He was like, why not? It's vacation. Poured it into like an iced coffee or a hot coffee container and just walked right through. Had like a huge thing of wine. Yeah, maybe they don't care. They're like, please drink. I don't know. Like I was kind of like, ooh, are these dogs going to sniff alcohol? But they're probably, like, that's small potatoes, right?
They got bigger shit to worry about.
For sure.
And I always kind of figure like worst case scenario, they sniff it out or whatever.
And then you just have to dump it. Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is gas station wine. Like, why would you even buy this? But I was pretty happy that he did. Because then I was like, well, look at that. I've got a nice buzz and it's 9:30 in the morning. All right.
Mel's over here in line. You will not take my Franzia.
Hold on. I need my coffee. Let me chug it down.
Why's your coffee red, ma'am? Don't mind me. All right. That's everything. Thank you all for listening. Thanks for hanging out. I'm going to hit some music over here. I'm also going to say hello to Vanessa.
Hey, Vanessa.
And a creepy hello from Flex. Hello, Vanessa. Sorry, had to. Thank you all for joining. Thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging. Don't forget to follow us on the socials at Craft Beer Republic and, of course, at Beergirl_Mel. Send us an email, mail at craftbeerrepublic.com. Of course, voicemail 805-538-BEER. That's 2337. I believe that's everything. I hope everyone is staying very well hydrated. And on that note, good night, everybody.
Bye.